Hey, welcome back to the 90-day plan lesson 3 of 5. In this lesson, we're going to be talking about setting your targets to double revenue in the next 90 days. Targets are not to be confused with tactics, which we will be talking about in lesson 4. But in order to know what tactics to apply, we need to know what our targets are. And ultimately, our targets and our tactics will make up what is called our strategy. So, in order to set our targets for the next 90 days, I've added a link to a spreadsheet right below this video. I'm going to hop into that spreadsheet and it's labeled Growth Plan. Now, when you see your spreadsheet, it's going to look something like this. Be blank. And this we've designed to go hand in hand with 3 growth levers that you've just learned about in the previous lessons. The returning customer rate, as a refresher, is the amount of time somebody returns as a customer. Very obvious, right? Average order value, how much money do they spend on each order? And new customers is how many new people bought that hadn't previously bought before. So what we want to do is look inside of Shopify, or if you're using Magento, look inside of your platform that you're using for your CMS. But most people will be using Shopify. If you're curious, there's plenty of help articles. If you just Google how to find and then whatever the definition is in Shopify, you're going to be able to find it with probably super helpful videos. So I didn't go through the work of making those videos for you because that type of stuff is always updating as they update their UI. Now, if we look at returning customer rate, that number is usually defined as 1 decimal point. So we'll have like 1.5. Every customer over the last 90 days has bought 1.5 times, but it's usually more like 1.2. And so now we see this over the next 90 days, what our target is, it's multiplied by 33%. So if you remember, 33%, 33%, 33% ultimately adds up to 99%, which we'll just call that 100, and that's doubling your e-commerce business. Now, average order value is the amount of money people spend on each order. Let's assume that ours was $50. So we'd see that, hey, we need to get this to $67 over the next 90 days. And then lastly, say new customers was 145 over the last 90 days. Now we can see that we would need to get to 193 over the next 90 days. And why this is helpful is it allows you to make decisions based on the tactics you're going to apply to hit these targets that are very clear, very measurable, and you'll know where the issue is if you don't double your revenue in the next 90 days. For these, we would come up with the ideas here, and we'll get deeper into this in the next lesson. But for returning customers, say we need to get this to 1.6, that may look like us adding a subscription option for the business. It may look like us adding in emails that get sent, 30 days after purchase, 60 days after purchase to get them to buy again. Average order value may look like us adding a minimum shipping threshold of $65. We want to get this to 65 plus, so around 67. We can say, hey, if you spend over $65, you get free shipping. We can also do bundles. Imagine if we just do a 2-pack and that takes the AOV to 100. Even if not everybody takes it, it's still going to increase our average order value. Lastly, when we look at new customers, this is going to be just efficiency on the acquisition channels that you're already using. And so when you look at these 3 levers, you're able to see which tactics to apply over the next 30 days, over the next 31 to 60, and over the next 61 to 90. And you can also do this for last year. If you want extra credit, go ahead and put your numbers in, and it will spit out exactly what your targets are for the next year. Hopefully this video is helpful. In the next one, I'm excited to talk about the tactics that you can apply to grow your e-commerce business. And then I even get into some best practices and a cheat sheet that I have that has a bunch of ideas for you to use to double your e-commerce business. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.